Hello, I'm John Raffis, and welcome to a special studio broadcast. With a huge slate of new Black Ops content and more people playing Call of Duty across the franchise than ever before, Season 3 represents an ambitious new season of content. Earlier, we had the opportunity to catch up with Raven's Amos Hodge and Treyarch's Miles Leslie to talk all things Warzone.
Warzone's been out for just over a year now, and we hit 100 million players. That number is astounding, and I just want to thank each and every one of you for giving Warzone a shot. It has been a blast. Season 3 really kicks off with the transition event. We want this event to be memorable. We want players to actually be active participants in the story. Players don't know it, but current day Verdansk, they'll never play it in that state again. Current day Verdansk is gone, and it's not coming back. It's 1984 and it's springtime. This is a completely different feel and vibe than wintertime current day Verdansk. So there's 7 all new locations. There's 5 existing locations with brand new layouts. The airport is one of those locations. It is well lit, easy access to the second floor. It feels completely different. It plays completely different. My personal favorite location in the new map is Summit. Summit sits atop Dam, and Summit just holds like nostalgia for me. It is one of my favorite maps. While you're in the cable car, there's half-height cover, so you're free to get into sniper battles. We've had some great battles and play testing on Summit. The farm areas in front of Gulag has been turned into standoff. This is another great addition of another classic Call of Duty map. Players have really enjoyed Rebirth Island, and they love the Resurgence game mode on Rebirth Island, and we wanted to double down on both things. One of the first things we did is we added Rebirth Island to the private match setting. I'm excited to see what happens, but we wanted to bring Resurgence experience to the larger map. So with the launch of Season 3, Resurgence will be available in Verdansk 1984. But with the launch of Verdansk 84, we felt it was the perfect time to update the Gulag. And since we already put Standoff on the map, what better place than a section of Standoff to be the new Gulag location? We also wanted to do a meta shift with the launch of Season 3, so you'll see a shift away from burst guns to more automatic rifles. For all the details on the new locations, the new layouts, head to callofduty.com and check out the strategy guide. Season 3 launches with an all-new narrative event called the Hunt for Adler. Here to tell you more about that is Miles Leslie.
Thanks, Amos. Now, before we dive into all of the content and what's going on with finding Adler in Verdansk, I want to take a second to recap Season 1 and 2 for where we are narratively and how our operators are driving to find Adler and stop Stitch. So, Season 1, Adler fell into Stitch trap at the Pines Mall. Stitch captured him, and Woods and his team now begin the hunt at the end of Season 1. Season 2, well, Naga delivers Adler to Stitch in Verdansk. Woods and team learn about Adler being taken from Laos and pursue Stitch. All intel points to Verdansk. Now, that sets up Season 3, the big moment. Wraith and Knight, new operators, head to Yamato to help carry out Stitch's grand master plan as Stitch continues his work with Adler. Now, let's take a look at the Season 3 cinematic trailer.
Come in. Channel is secure.
You have the package?
We have the numbers data.
Complete your mission.
Hard copy.
Here. Moscow will blame the Americans for Yamantau, and our work with Adler is almost done. We can proceed. What Dragovich only managed with a single subject, we shall do to entire nations. What we do in Verdansk will pave the way for the rise of Greater Russia.
Alright, there is a lot to digest there. Nukes going off, mountains exploding, stitches in Verdansk. All of that is leading to the Hunt for Adler event. And this is across Warzone and Cold War. Now, players are going to have 6 total challenges to earn rewards in both games. You complete a full set in either game, and you're going to unlock an exclusive Adler skin. Now, the event ends at the end of launch week, so drop in and get to your boy Adler.
And Warzone is just the start. Season 3 has much more to offer, and here, pulling some double duty, we brought Miles Leslie back to talk operators and weapons. Miles, thank you for joining us.
Thanks, happy to still be here.
Listen, real quick, want to thank you very much for putting in all the hours here. We just thank you for catching up with Warzone, and thank you for coming back to talk operators and weapons. Let's start with operators. There are 3 coming out of the gate. We've got Wraith, we've got Knight, we've got Antonov. Tell us a little bit about each one. If you could, start with Wraith.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're coming right out of the gate super strong, and you just saw in the cinematic, it's all about Wraith. Now, Wraith is the right-hand woman to Stitch. If you want a job done, she's the executioner, and she will get it done no matter what. She's a stone-cold killer. She is badass. Players are going to love getting her and just playing her. It's awesome. Now, in season, we've also got Knight, which is also that big brute you saw in the cinematic wielding those hammers as well. Now, he is like the guard dog to Wraith. He will do whatever she says in a sense, but they're working together for Perseus. Also in season, we're going to have Antonov. Now, he is a hazmat expert, and he's there in the aftermath of this avalanche and this nuke, trying to figure out what's going out. That's 3 new awesome operators within season.
Clearly, Treyarch sent out some invitations to the party. We got some new attendees, but now time for the party gifts. All right, 6 new weapons. If I'm not mistaken, there is a kind of a fan favorite SMG that's making its way back.
That's absolutely true. Tons of new weapons as well. So launch week, you've got the PPSH 41. Now that is just going to obliterate anyone close up with its high fire rate. Then you've got the Swiss K31 sniper rifle. You're going to get your shots there. It's super long range. You can use that across Warzone and Cold War. Again, it's going to have a lot of variety in it. Ballistic knife makes a return for everyone that loves running around. Now, you don't even have to be close to stab him. You just shoot your little knife from across the room. The other dude's going to rage, but you hit it, so congratulations. Awesome.
The ballistic knife reminds me of some of my worst losses. All right, let's talk about stuff that's in season. Let's start with the Carve 2 tactical rifle.
This thing looks like a beast. You might have seen Knight using it in the cinematic. It shoots like a beast. It's going to put people down if you can put your sights on them. After that, you got the AMP-63 machine pistol. Again, Wraith's using this in the cinematic, just taking fools down. Really awesome machine pistol, up close and personal. And last but not least is the baseball bat. I don't think I need to explain what you do with it, but if I do, pro tip, aim for the head, crack some skulls. Congratulations.
Okay. Earned that M rating today, didn't we? Miles, hey, thank you for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thanks a lot.
To help us talk through all things multiplayer, we are joined by lead game designer Matt Schrantz. Matt, welcome to the broadcast.
Hi, John.
Thank you for joining us today. And I know that we like to catch up with you to talk about all things on the map front. There are 4 maps as part of Season 3. Let's jump in and start talking about the 2 maps that became available during launch week here. And let's kick things off with Yamantau.
I think it's one of my favorites in Season 3. It's on the small to medium side. Some of the charm of this map, obviously there's a lot of snowdrifts. Going to create some really memorable engagements throughout those snowdrifts. You're going to work your way through the observatory. That's going to be where BDOM is. That's going to be where some of the bigger objectives are. A lot of really fun engagements. And then across that observatory, you're going to have a couple of opposing balconies, so you can get into some more medium to longer range engagements. And then surrounding that, you've got some really nice flank paths. I personally really enjoy those small to medium maps, and Yamantau delivers on that.
Well, in case the chilly setting is too much for players to handle, things warm up in Diesel a little bit, no?
Diesel again, it's in the kind of lonesome desert of New Mexico. It's on the small to medium side, and it's really that kind of Americana charm, roadside gas station. But some of the key elements of this map that I really enjoy. Again, that center, you're going to be working your way through the gas station. Maybe you post up as a cleric and ring somebody up a time or two. And then the surrounding areas, you've got a junkyard that's really fun to play some cat and mouse around in. You can work your way along up this upper path past the trailers and kind of flank around on the other trailer side and make your way through the parking lot. And then for the tactical rifles, sniper rifles, you're going to be able to post up along that highway, maybe along that 18-wheeler, get some really interesting lines of sight to some of those short-range players who are trying to make their way into that gas station. This map is very versatile. You're going to be able to play that in 6v6, all the core modes. You're going to be able to play that in 2v2 and 3v3 gunfight variants, blueprint gunfights. Maybe we'll throw a little knife fight in there. And then, of course, face-off for those players who want a little bit more of an intimate setting. It's really awesome to be able to put another map into that face-off rotation. So overall, Diesel, a blast to play. Yemmental, a blast to play, both on the small to medium side. So I really think fans are going to like both of those.
All right, so this season there's another 6v6 experience coming with a Black Ops Classic. What's in store there?
Standoff is back. For my money, Standoff is one of the best multiplayer maps in all of shooters. It is a remaster, so it's going to be beautiful in Black Ops Cold War. We've been having a ton of fun with it in playtesting. So it's just a blast from the past, and it holds up. So very excited for that one to be released later in the season.
So, Matt, it sounds like the team really has players covered when it comes to small to mid-size experiences, but there is a larger player count experience coming later in the season.
I believe you're talking about Duga. So Duga is going to be located in the Soviet Union. Players are first going to be able to experience this one as an outbreak region, and then later in the season we'll bring that to our multi-team experiences. You've got that perimeter where you can work your way around, use some of those longer range weapons, tactical rifles, sniper rifles. You can make your way to the chemical plants, to the bus depot. And there's a lot of little offices that you can get that kind of classic Call of Duty gameplay from. And then, sometimes you just really can't make your mind up. So you're going to look at that satellite array up, and that's really the centerpiece and the character of this map.
All right, Matt, we covered everything on the map front. Let's talk about modes. This week with the launch of Season 3, we've got a classic back, Sticks and Stones. What are players having fun with? What are they experiencing?
They're experiencing the use of their sticks with the crossbow, and they're using their stones, which are their tomahawks. For me, I'm a bit of a troll. So I know it's surprising, but in Sticks and Stones, you will see the leader with a yellow dot on the minimap. What I like to do is I like to chase that yellow dot, and I like to throw my tomahawk at them. When you eliminate an enemy with a tomahawk in Sticks and Stones, you reset their score to 0. So for me, it's just about not letting the other person win. It's not really about me winning. It's just about other people not winning. So jokes aside, not really joking. Sticks and Stones, if you don't know what it is, you do not have created class. You are given a loadout of a crossbow, of a ballistic knife, which is a new weapon for Season 3, which I've been having a ton of fun with, and you have your tomahawks. Crossbows and ballistic knife kills are going to give you the most score. Melee kills will give you a little bit less score, and tomahawk kills will give you less score. So really the goal there is to have the most score at the end of the 5-minute time limit.
Matt, it sounds like the team has one more mode in store for players this season. Multi-team elimination. Tell us more.
A lot of our previous modes have been obviously very heavily relying on respawns, and with multi-team elimination we wanted to slow things down a bit. So it's still going to be 10 teams of 4 players each on all of our biggest maps. At the end of the game, players are going to be pitted against each other to really be the last team standing. There's also another alternate win condition. When that last safe zone comes online, an exfil chopper will come, and then you have the choice to try to get your squad out on that exfil chopper or really just fight to the death against the other team.
When you talk about players traversing the map and things that they can find, it's my understanding that the team is sort of throwing a new cargo truck into the mix and adding a new score streak, the strafe run.
The cargo truck, we can start with that one. It's a super fun vehicle to play around with. You can load up with some of your teammates in the back of it, have a driver, and then of course, we always want to do something a little extra. So we threw it a machine gun turret where the passenger is. It's very durable, so you can be a little reckless with it, but you got to be careful because you can still get taken out. And then you mentioned the strafe run, which is our new score streak releasing in Season 3. This one is going to be kind of on the mid to high end. I believe right now it's sitting at around 5,000 score. With the strafe run, you'll be able to pull out your tablet and call in a pair of strafing planes. It's a great way to kind of keep people inside because it does do work. It will get you kills. But it's also just a very menacing and kind of overpowering vehicle to hear and see. But this one's also interesting because as you've seen with some of our other score streaks, the Air Patrol, for example, some of those air-to-air battles, the strafe plane is no different. So when you call in the strafe plane, it's going to have the capability to take out enemy UAVs, counter UAVs, care package choppers. So my kind of hint and tip for players using the strafe plane, don't be afraid to use it to clear the skies of enemy air support.
One last question regarding tips and tricks, whether it's your PPSH in Diesel or finding the yellow dot in Sticks and Stones. What's the one tip you'd give players as they approach Season 3?
The one tip, I could be lame and just say have fun. For Season 3, I feel like this is where I've just had a ton of fun with our Season 3 content. We're kind of adding another party game mode with Sticks and Stones. I'll go back to my default of chasing that yellow dot in Sticks and Stones. I was doing that many years ago in our party games and wager matches back in the day. So if you see that yellow dot, put on your mic. This is what I do in playtest. I put on my mic. I say, hey, I'm not a yellow dot. Yeah, I have 0 points. Don't hurt me. Let's team up and go chase that yellow dot. And then it's really fun on occasion when you can get an entire lobby of Sticks and Stones players kind of chasing after that yellow dot. People you don't know, randoms. It can happen, and I want to see you people out there make that happen.
Do I find that on the Cruel and Unusual Punishment playlist, or is that just... It's more of a style.
That's a great idea, though. So
okay.
We'll put that one on a note card, and maybe you'll see that in Season 3.
All right, Matt, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thanks, John.
Now it's time for one of my favorite parts of our studio broadcast, meeting up with the Zombies crew. And with that, we are joined today by Corky Lemcule, our studio creative director, Craig Houston, our lead writer, Kevin Drew, expert game designer, and Anthony Saunders, lead level designer. Gentlemen, welcome to the broadcast.
Hey, how's it going, John?
Hi, John.
Outbreak's launch was a huge success in Season 2. More people play Black Ops Cold War Zombies than even at the launch of the game. And you guys delivered some new Outbreak content in Season 2, and it sounds like the story's about ready to take off. Corky, Craig, why don't you jump in, tell players what's in store for Season 3?
After our initial setup on the first couple of round-based maps, characters are starting to develop their own agendas, and there's a lot of stuff brewing within the story. And that's something that is definitely going to take off in a big way during Season 3, because I don't want to get into spoilers, but like I say, there's a lot of characters that have been kind of in the background or on the sidelines that are going to start to take a more prominent role in driving the story forward, if that makes sense. I think it does make sense. I think, Corky, do we even want to talk about the fact that later in Season 3, we will have a main quest?
So as Season 3 progresses, we will be unlocking the main quest for Outbreak. As with all main quests, it'll involve the narrative and evolving the story of our characters.
And things will never be the same again afterwards, will they, Corky? This is where the story is like I say, we've been trapped in this kind of Cold War arms race between Omega and Requiem. But like I said earlier, the agendas of individual characters are going to start to push that in a slightly different direction, which will set us up more for future seasons.
Anything in particular that you want to call attention to, like whenever you talk about all the story intel that's coming people's way?
Season 3 is very much about building on what we've achieved so far in Outbreak. You know, besides a lot of new intel and a lot of new story stuff and new gameplay features, we're kind of just starting to tease the events that are going to lead us into our next round-based zombies map that will come in a future season, probably season 4.
Well, what we have at our disposal now at the launch of Season 3 are a number of gameplay features that we want to touch base with Kevin and Anthony on. Kevin, Anthony, it sounds like you guys are opening up a new region.
Yeah, we've got Duga incoming, which is actually, it has been one of my personal favorites for a while. Glad to see it coming out to the people. Yeah, it's like a blend of forest and like urban industrial settings. It has like this just rained on look and this giant array that you can see in the background here in the map. So it's a larger map, so vehicles are going to come into play for that. So I think players are going to like it.
It sounds like as you kind of dig into this map experience, there are some expanded objectives. There's some new intel that it is kind of loaded throughout the experience for players to find.
Yeah, so every time we're adding a new region, an entire batch of new intel comes with that experience. Every objective has new versions within this new space. We've also this season gone back and added additional locations for existing objectives in old spaces. So there's a reason to go back and experience those places as well. And that includes new intro points. And it's kind of amazing when you infill at a different side of the map how different it feels just moving through that space to get to that objective.
When you talk about sort of that experience, if we could expand a little bit more on some of the new world events that players will be able to interact with, upgrades, round skips, fill us in on what's happening there.
This is really exciting for me. We're adding the FAV and the cargo truck, which is a brand new vehicle this season, to the mode. And both of these vehicles come with a mounted turret, which adds a new dynamic to moving through this world and mowing down zombies. 4 crates have shown up in Outbreak with Season 3, each allowing you to upgrade a dye gun if you happen to stumble upon one to its upgraded form. These are in set locations, and players will have to go out there and discover where they are. We have a new world event being added. It's called the Fury Crystal, and it's this timed kind of a scavenge hunt where you destroy a crystal, and you have to, several more crystals spawn in the local area. You have to go and destroy all those in a time limit. And if you're successful, it'll drop the Aether tool. It allows you to upgrade the rarity of any gun you're holding. So it's a very powerful item. And this world event will allow players a way to dependably earn that item if they can meet the challenge of destroying all those crystals in time.
How about you tell us a little bit more about the new field upgrade that's in store for Season 3?
Toxic Growth is the new field upgrade being added to zombies for Season 3. It is the ability to summon a deadly patch of weeds that can effectively shut down a space. So the idea here is that you would plant it at a key location like a barricade window or in front of a defend console. And as zombies enter this giant bush, they start to get slowed down and take chunks of damage. It also slows down and deals damage to elites and specials. So it can be used in all sorts of kind of interesting ways to help you survive.
I just think it's a really, really interesting and cool field upgrade. I mean, even in our play tests, I've seen people use it in some very creative ways. So it'll just be really cool to see how the community at large ends up finding ways to use this and make objectives easier for themselves and make themselves more powerful. So yeah, excited about that.
You know, I have to hand it to you and the team. Like Toxic Growth, if it can't double as like a punk band name, it doesn't go in zombies, you know? Right. All right, new challenges. Sounds like there are a number of new challenges in store for Season 3.
With every season, we add 20 new challenges as you move through the ranks. This season is inspired by Outbreak. We try to use these challenges to encourage players to try different play styles or strategies, and you know that's no different here. These challenges are all about Outbreak and doing different things in the mode.
So we were talking to Miles a little bit earlier, and it sounds like a lot of the weapons that he sort of set the stage for are making their way into the zombies experience. Anthony, you've got a favorite.
Oh yeah. The PPSH. It's actually an old favorite of mine from the World War II games. Just love that distinct sound of it, and just I ran around in a couple zombies maps with it. It just has a nice steady feel. Just a really great gun, and always the more guns, always good to play with, more camos to unlock. So I'm always ready for that.
It sounds like that there will be some new Onslaught content for PlayStation players, and it sounds like it's coming with the Yamantau map at launch. Kevin, what can you tell us?
It's just another fun map to be playing Onslaught on. It's a unique location up on the cliff side, the frozen cliff side, fighting zombies. It's a lot more narrow than some of the other multiplayer maps, so it definitely kind of changes up your strategy as the orb is moving and you're following along. And it's also worth noting that we'll be keeping containment around as an LTM for the time being. We've seen a lot of success and people are enjoying that, and we want to make sure that stays around so people can keep having fun with it.
Guys, as always, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Thanks, John.
In addition to everything that you heard from our guests today, there are a few Battle Pass updates worth sharing. Battle Pass integration brings with it 100 tiers of new content, starting with Wraith, as well as new weapon blueprints, operator skins, vehicle skins, and more. The Wraith operator unlocks immediately at tier 0 with the PPSH 41 unlocking at tier 15. The Swiss K31 sniper rifle unlocking at 31, and for the first time in the Battle Pass, a new Mastercraft unlocking at 76. A new ultra-reactive blueprint also unlocks at tier 95, and Pursuit of a Legendary Wraith operator skin will take you all the way to tier 100. Get up to 1,300 Call of Duty points back as you work your way through all the tiers, all redeemable for items in the store or bankable for a future Battle Pass. For all of the details about what's in store for Season 3, as well as a roadmap for this season's action, you can head to callofduty.com to learn more. Of course, you can head to Treyarch.com for news, information, game updates, patch notes, and more. I'd like to thank all of our guests today that made the time to be on today's broadcast. I'd also like to thank everyone behind the camera. Tommy, Alan, Ben, Foxy, appreciate all of the help. Most of all, thank you to you for tuning in. So now, get out there, jump into Season 3, have fun. We'll see you online.